Cut.
We're out at the Gush Valley farm on the MotorMatters test facility for a change, because when we get 4x4s we have to come out here and do some driving, some off-roading, etc. The latest version of the Toyota Prado. You can see the VXL model we're in right now, which is the top of the range, which means you get LED lights, LED daytime running lights, LED fog lights, for example. That's up front. Nice big 17-inch mag wheels. I've got it on maximum ground clearance at the moment. You can see we've actually raised the vehicle up slightly for ground clearance because you can do things like that. Yes, it's a big vehicle, and you can see how big it is when you open up the back door and you take a look in the back over here and just come inside quickly, and you'll see how big and how much space there is in the back for backseat passengers. And remembering that this is a 7-seater actually, so you come around to the back, and a Prado feature, very heavy back door that opens outwards like that. And you have the 2 extra seats that do come up from the back over here. And again, VXL spec means that you can press a button, and that's how the back seats go down. Those extra 2 seats. Obviously adjustable boot space when you do that, and it gives you differing boot space and different room in the vehicle. And there you go. Now, of course, as a 5-seater, you've got gigantic back space over there as well. This heavy back door, and a feature of the Prado, of course, that your spare wheel is mounted on the back door over there. The top model as well has kinetic suspension, which I don't understand the technicalities behind it, but I can tell you it smooths things out on the road, on dirt roads, over rocks. And you can see on this track we're on here on the farm, it makes such a difference to the suspension and everything that you can do with it. Powered by Toyota's 2.8 litre GD6 motor now, which is a recent change on the Prado, puts out 150 kilowatts, 500 newton meters of torque. So believe me, this can go anywhere. It really can. It can do anything you want, and you can prove it. It's got all the off-road technology. We'll show you some of it just now when we're going on the off-road sections and on some dirt roads. And when we look inside, you'll see what features this vehicle actually has. Let's jump in. When the going gets tough, the Prado keeps going as far as I'm concerned. You can see it's raining, it's pouring down. This is really not a good piece of road, and yet so what, basically. And you can also see this kinetic suspension. Yeah, we're bouncing around, but I can tell you it could be so much worse. It really could. Because this is now we're on the bad piece. Yeah, we're all having fun, that's for sure. Moving behind the wheel, as always, we look at the figures to start. You've got the TFT screen in the center over there, which of course shows you the vital stuff and the vital numbers you want to see. There's still 494 kilometers in the tank, because remembering you've got a 150 litre fuel tank on this car. We've averaged 9.6 litres per 100. That's been in all kinds of driving, a lot of off-roading, and of course that drastically bad weather dirt road we did a long stretch on. So take those all into account. You come over to your multifunction steering wheel, as always, got everything you want. I'm not going to show you the scrolling through the computer. You know what all you get on that computer. But what is really important is, of course, you've got lane departure, you've got your parking beepers at the front, you've got active cruise control on this vehicle. Very important, because that's only on the VXL version that you get the active cruise control. You've got memory function for the seats over there, you've got all the controls over there, you've got various controls down here. I'm showing you all the different ones. You've got, of course, blind spot warning in the mirror, which you can't see right now, but I'm sure you know that you have. Another nice feature that I do like about that TFT in the center over there is that it does show you navigation instructions as well if you're using navigation. You come across to the center over here, and this is where everything starts happening. Of course, you've got your nice big screen over here. You can see the menu function over there. It's got absolutely everything you want. You've got navigation, works very nicely. I used that quite a bit on this car as well. So you've got all of those features. I'm sure you do understand them and you do know them. You come down over here, of course, you've got the multi-zone climate control. And I use the word multi-zone because you do have rear as well. And there are, at the back over here, a bit difficult to show you right now, but there are controls for the aircon at the back of the console for rear passengers. So you've got that, and of course you've got vents above the back doors. So you've got all of those features. Now you come back to the center over here, and this is where, again, the VXL model gains over the more standard models, shall I call it, because you have a look at some of these controls over here. Now, first of all, obviously you've got permanent four-wheel drive, so it's in 4 high. You have the 4 low option. Nice and easy, just click it across. Then here is your multi-terrain switch over there, your multi-terrain control. And it only works in 4 low, I discovered, which I thought was quite interesting, but I suppose it does make a lot of sense. But then you would click through over here. I can't show you, unfortunately, because, well, if I put it into 4 low, I'm sure I can do that. And it won't go into 4 low now because you've got to be in neutral, and then you put it into 4 low like that. And now you can have a look at what goes on the screen. Look at that. Suddenly all your cameras show differently. You've got the big cameras. It's showing you everything that's going on over here around the vehicle as well. And it really now gets interesting because you can see the different camera settings. But then you can scroll through and you can, of course, change your terrain settings as well. So you've got all of those available to you, and they all work now nice and easily. Let me just go back into, of course, 4 high and stop it beeping like that as well. But there you can see your cameras, and you've got a view over there as well that you can change your different views for off-roading, which is very important. That one over there, you can see exactly what it would be like for you for off-road usage. You've then come down, of course, you've got a crawl mode over there. You've got your diff locks. Now, again, on the VXL model only, you've got a center diff lock and a center rear diff lock. I'm going to turn off the ignition because otherwise we're going to have this beeping all the time. So you've got the 2 diff locks on this version. Over here on this side, very nice, and I found this very useful on the dirt roads yesterday, is you can raise and lower your ride height a certain amount as well to give you different abilities, obviously, for comfort and for riding on the dirt roads as well. That kinetic suspension obviously works there, and it makes such a difference. You come over here, you've got your slightly old-fashioned gated gear lever, but it works well. It's a 6-speed automatic gearbox. No complaints, very smooth, very comfortable. Over here you've got the multi-modes for the transmission for the 6-speed automatic. Quite honestly, I left it in normal for the entire time. I didn't bother with any other modes on this test. And then over here, your luxury feature again. You've got heating and cooling for the front 2 seats for the driver and passenger. Now, a little bit of a complaint, can I call it, on this vehicle. I found this strange. You look here. For a vehicle this size, and considering it's a 7-seater, you've only got 1 USB and 1 12-volt. I really feel in today's world, if you want this to be a family vehicle, you need a lot more than just 1 USB port. Now, a really nice feature over here is this is a cool box. You switch it on, obviously only when ignition is on, power, and your water gets nice and cool. I can tell you, it's actually pretty chilly, this water now, from the cool box. It was running nicely yesterday for us while we were traveling. So a lovely feature, that, and something really nice as well. All the space in the world that you can want, you can see that over there in the middle row. And obviously those back 2 seats are smallish and a bit limited. But, well, that's what you want and what you expect. I don't think there's any complaint. Nice sunroof over here. Although, again, a vehicle like this, I think a panoramic roof would really make a big difference. And I would love a panoramic roof on this vehicle. But that's me. I'm not going to complain too much. Well, the question always comes down to what is it going to cost you for this vehicle. As this one is here now, as you can see it, and you can see the VXL version, which gives you absolutely everything you can possibly want, with the kinetic suspension, with the LED headlights, with the multi-terrain system. There's so many items you get on the top model in this case that this is one where I would actually say the top one is definitely the one to go for. Doesn't always apply in these cases, but I would say it's very definitely the case here. You're looking at 1.13 million rand for this vehicle as it is. Obviously includes Toyota's 9 service, 90,000 kilometer service plan and warranty as well. So you've got all of that included. Really makes a big difference on a vehicle like this. 10,000 kilometer intervals for your services on the diesel engine. Overall, I've got to tell you, this has been such a pleasure. This is a different class of off-roading, of cruising, whether you're cruising on a highway in supreme comfort or whether you do off-roading more comfortably than virtually any off-road vehicle I've tested before this, and certainly at this price point. It is a total and utter revelation, I have to tell you. You're looking to come close to this, you'd be looking at a G-Wagon from Mercedes, you'd be looking at a Range Rover or Land Rover Discovery at very minimum. That's the kind of level I believe you're equating this to. So it is something else and something quite special. Great test, great vehicle, and I think it's certainly, you're in this market, you better check this one out, that's for sure. For MotorMatters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.